I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Derek Bernard. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a father, and I'm the founder of the Fatherhood blog of villageoffathers.com. That's AVoFfathers.com. That was founded and created to bond with fathers, make connections with fathers. This call was created to celebrate fatherhood and the cultivation of men. Welcome to the AVOF Father to Father conference call. Let me give you a little background on myself. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I was raised by my grandparents due to both my parents in and out of jail. Being raised, I seen my cousins and uncles in and out of jail. I witnessed uncles get killed, cousins get killed. I lived to see an uncle die of HIV. He passed away from that virus. Growing up in that neck of the woods, Brownsville, I seen a whole lot of hardship. I was able to rise above it, and now I'm spreading the word that although you come from these circumstances, you don't have to use that as an excuse to say, I cannot rise from that. So before I start the call, I would like to go over some father impact facts. I start every call with some father impact facts. 1, education. A child is 2 times more likely to drop out of school, high school, due to an absent father in the home. Also, behavior. A child is more likely to have behavior problems due to an absent father in the home, because fathers bring structure in the home. Also, a father's involvement in their children in school increases their grade level. So basically saying the more a father is involved in his child's school curricula, the better the child do in school. Now, there's a lot of absent fathers due to many reasons, but AVOF is here to be a solution to those problems. We got the blog, villageoffathers.com. We're going to be doing support group and meetup. We're going to be doing events and workshops in the future in 2019, and we're going to be doing conference calls such as this. And also, I will be doing Facebook Live and Instagram Live and Zoom video conferences with fathers all across the world to get insight from fathers, to get insight on their perspective and their experiences, to help feed the fire with this fatherhood blog, to help get information to other fathers. One of the first topics I'd like to discuss is involvement in children's education. Now, I have a friend who lives in Delaware. He has a fatherhood agency. Who's on the call? Please state your name.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Jonathan, brother.
So what's going on, show? Thanks for tuning into the call.
Thank you for even having this, man. It's what is needed.
Yes, man. Jonathan, you come from a rough neighborhood, but but that didn't stop brothers like me and you being positive and doing positive things in life. So that's the reason why I'd like to do this call and to actually get in touch with brothers like you and my brother Keith, who lives in Cali, and I want to get in touch with fathers all across the world.
One of the realest things in life that can ever be stated is everything is based on choice. We come from places where we're counted out before we take our first chance at life. We living in a world and a time where you don't even have to discourage yourself or doubt yourself, because we're living in a time where the world is going to do most of that for you. If you're not a self-motivator, if you're not the kind of person that can literally find the good, that's really all it is self-belief and finding the good, finding what it is that you're supposed to be doing and not wasting time in your life. Things that you know is not going to be conducive to what you want for yourself, for your kids, for your family. It was the old timer, right? And he kind of ruined sleep for me because I enjoy my rest. So the old timer said, "Hey, young man," I'm like, "What's going on?" He says, "They say the average person needs 8 hours of sleep to be the most productive during the day." I'm like, "Yeah, I heard it before." Remember, it's 24 hours in a day, so that's a 30 a day attributed to sleep. And I'm like, "All right." He says, "Well, that means if you only live to be the young age of 60 years old, you actually slept for 20 years, because if you could sleep a 30 a day, you sleep a 30 your life." And that bugged me out, bro. It did. It made it so I cut sleep short, got just enough to be able to be active during the day, and I use my extra hours to love the people that love me. I use my extra hours to love me first. I use my extra hours to work harder. Invest it, bro.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and your insight and your knowledge, wisdom, getting up in age, still willing to learn from our elders, which is very important, because some people just block out the information from the people who were for us,
Absolutely, man. Listen, we don't have time to bring to fruition the great things we say we want for ourselves and our family, man.
Yep. Let me start this call. Let me go over one of the first topics, and I want y'all feedback.
Definitely.
The topic is involvement in children's education. What I'm asking is, there is facts and studies stating that when a father is actively involved in his children's education and school curriculum, that child seems to do better in school, which means is the father has to be active in his child's education. Father must know what school his child go to, the teacher's name. He must know what type of work his son or daughter is doing, because that makes the child, put the child in a spot like that. A child got to do their work, because if a child don't know when a father going to pop up to the school, he going to do his work. The thing you don't want is your pop to pop up on you in school, you know?
That's a fact. I mean, it's a proven fact, bro, that children, point blank period, who have their father in their life, like fully in their life, already have, I think it's like 37 to 38% more of a chance at being successful in life. And that's just what it is, because the first instance of love that we know is our mom. The first instance of authority that we know is our father. They set the standard, and they become first example, you know. And with all honesty, you know where we from. You've never seen my dad a day in your life, and that's because he was not around. That's why even some of the, I won't say mistakes, the not as good choices that I made in my life was because I didn't have that example of a good father. And that's just being real to real. And then I had to learn how to accept the lack of responsibility my father showed, attention that my father showed, and realize that sometimes a strong mind could look at a bad father and it'll teach him firsthand what not to do and what not to be. But that's just, you know, that's not the majority. A lot of times when that figure is absent, man, it's gonna become so much harder for that child to become successful in life. So we definitely play a huge role, especially in education, man, because, you know, whether it's daddy's little girl, and then even when it comes to the son, you know, he wants to mimic his dad, you know.
You know how, like, when most black men go pro in whatever sport, basketball, football, what's the first thing they do? They say, I'm going to buy my mama a house. You'd be like, so where's the father? You know what I'm saying? My father wasn't around. And that's bad, because that leaves men out here to figure out life without a man, because woman nurtures. They show love, caring. They show that support. A man shows structure and stability. And it's kind of like a balance between a man and a woman, and that's what makes parent, because they both bring something to the table that makes them gel. But if you only got the nurturer, but you don't got the structure, you know, that could hurt. That's the reason why that it's so important that fathers get involved in their children's education. And I'm going to start challenging fathers to know what school your child go to. Know the teacher, meet the teacher, because most teachers only meet the mother. They don't meet the father. Know your kids' teachers. Talk to them. See how they're doing. And once you ask them how your child doing in school, let them know that you are involved in your kids' life. Even if you live with them or not, it's still important that you still show that presence.
Absolutely. I mean, I've literally lost friends or people that at one point I considered to be friends because of the type of fathers that they were. Like, I remember walking down the street next to somebody I had known for years, and we walking down the street, and I see his daughter. I know he sees his daughter, and she's looking up at him. They look like twins, and she's looking like, is he going to stop and show me love? And he looked down, and he kept walking. So I stopped, like, bro, you don't see your daughter, family? Like, what are you doing? And out of the fact that I was real enough to, one, be disgusted by it, and two, put him on the spot, he turns around and gives her, like, $2. Start to walk off, and I'm looking like, and I told him, I was like, oh, bro, I gave her, like, I think it was like $60 or something like that, like, go ahead, niece. And then I looked at him like, yo, I'll never know you again after this moment, because it's impossible when you give me a pound and say, yo, I love you, bro. It's impossible for me to believe you, because that young lady has your exact face, flesh, and blood, and you're willing to walk past her in the street. Why would I ever believe you when you say you got love for me?
You actually saying that, I'd be like the same way how people be like, if a dude rat or snitch, we can't show him love. It should be the same way if dudes see other dudes not taking care of their kids, they should get the same treatment. It should not be no different from a person not taking care of a child to a person maybe snitching, even though that's two different things.
we're all honest. Being a bad father is worse. Really think about this, bro. Every movie we watch, every corner we see a female selling her body, every spot that we ever saw. Come on, you see where we from? We see it all the time, man. We see females walking down the street and the young men showing them no respect because they had no male figure and no guidance in their life, and they just giving themselves to everybody, seeking that love. You know?
Can I add something in or no?
Go ahead, speak.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Peace, family.
What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, what y'all saying is right on the money. You know, I've heard it said, you know, a lot of our issues could be solved if we had stronger families. Family structure is all messed up. Like you said, you see it everywhere, you know. And not only do we need present fathers, we need good fathers that set the example of how their kids should live their life. You know what I mean? Because you got some dads that are there, but they're not there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, yeah, he's there, but go the next step and, you know, and pour into your kids, you know, teach them, you know, show them how to respect women, show them how to be committed in a relationship, things like that. But if the guy isn't there at all, then, you know, he'll let the streets raise him, whoever raised him, you know, or the kids. So, you know, the family structure really needs to be reformed and really strong, definitely in the black community. You see it everywhere, man. You know, just kids with no dads and they're lost and they're trying to do all this stuff by themselves. And they need to have that support, you know.
I would like to get to the next topic. This topic is parenting style. And every parent is different. Some is more harder, more stricter. Some is more lenient. People choose how they want to raise their kids. So I want to know what is actually your choice of parenting styles. And that's like you had a boy and a girl. How would you parent both? And would you parent them the same or would you parent them different based on sex?
If I may, I definitely feel it should definitely be different based on sex, just with all honesty. And that's only because we are opposite. If we were exactly the same, then by all means raise a young lady the same way you would raise a young man. But we are opposite. A young man needs more structure and more discipline than a young woman. It's already a fact. People may argue me down, but I just feel like women do evolve and learn and adjust quicker than men. They are born nurtured. One, how to pick their men correctly. Two, they need to learn how to definitely, you know, not tend to their man, but they're born nurtured. They need to be taught how to nurture. Men are born leaders, protectors, providers. That is what needs to be instilled in a young boy from a young age to manhood. The homie that's on the other line, he made a really good point. The family structure has been broken to the point where now the women are the providers. It's more like a pack of lions. The women are the hunters. They're going out killing, the prey, and bringing the food home. And it's a large amount of men that are sitting on their ass expecting for the woman to do that, as if that's their natural role, when in reality it's not. And, you know, yeah.
Hold on for a second. Somebody just chimed in on the call. State your name.
Hey, how you doing? This is Jay Quan.
What's going on, Bill?
Hey, what's going on, boss man?
How you doing?
Everything's good, man.
All right, you tuned in right in the middle of the conversation. Topic that we was actually discussing was parenting styles, and we was asking whether would you raise your kids different if you had a boy and a girl. And I know you got both. So knowing that you got a daughter and son, do you raise them the same or do you raise them different?
Well, as of right now, I would say my daughter's 9, and my son, he just made 1. So the styles in which I'm raising both of them are different because of age. But to be honest with you, from a kid, you know, since babies, you know, I think that they should be raised the same, only because they're not conscious of sex at that time as far as male and female. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, I think they could be raised the same as they start to grow up into childhood and then teens, and I think that that's when maybe your parenting styles may change as far as boy and girl.
Okay, cool. Show or y'all have any feedback on what he just said?
Definitely, first and foremost, salute to being a real man and a real father.
Yeah, salute to you too, King.
Thank y'all for calling in, you know, and I just want to say, like, the reason why, like, this call was created was to celebrate fatherhood and to cultivation of men, because the more and more that people see that as real fathers out here, that helps the cause for other fathers to be like, okay, I'm not doing my best, but, you know, but I see there's a lot of guys out here doing the real father thing. I'm going to step my game up.
Right.
And stuff like that. So So, like, that's the reason why I created the blog. That's the reason why I created this conference call, 2 channel, because I want to celebrate fathers and celebrate men and talk about problems, but not only talk about the problem, but also have solutions to the problem. And I also want to build a network of fathers. One is a DJ, one is a painter, doc, realtor, lawyer, and the person be like, hey, yo, D, I'm looking for somebody to paint my house. Well, listen, I've got a bunch of fathers, and I know one that's a painter. You know what I'm saying? This is his name and number. Contact somebody who's the oil mechanic. His name is number. Contact. Everything I'm doing is not just one level, multi-level in what I'm doing, but at the same time, it's all about building up fathers, and that's the goal of what I'm doing with this conference call and the blog.
Makes sense.
Let me get into the next topic, which would be like the final topic, is should fathers carry the financial burden of a family? Do you think it's right, fair, or unfair?
I believe, yes, this is show. And that's only because, I mean, if you look in the histories, man, and as messed up as it may seem that women had to at one point fight for equal rights to be able to do things they should have been able to do anyway because it really wasn't major things, even in the histories it shows that the men were the foundation and pillars of the family. Again, just piggybacking off of what the brother said, the family structure has been altered, due to a mass amount of men being incarcerated. And then you have a large a collective of men that, prefer the same gender. And then it's like, so really, not gonna lie, at one point I just started feeling bad for women, especially our sisters, because, it's really not a lot of us type to pick from, just being real. They get stuck with whatever they can actually, bad enough, they outnumber us on the globe anyway. And it's just wild. But I definitely feel like as far as financially, of course, have a partner that you push to be as, as helpful as possible. But in all reality, at one point we had stay-at-home mothers, stay-at-home wives, and the bills would still get paid because that was literally our position.
I could say this. Most people, I'm an American, and the most foreigners I speak to, that's already instilled in their brains, to be honest with you.
Right.
Even when, you could even go and talk to any foreigner, and you could tell them, oh, my wife works as much as me, or she has this type of level job. They would almost not look at you like you're crazy, but they would look at you like, okay, so what are you doing? Why do she have to do all of that work? So you can just tell that because of the systematic thing, because of the way Americans and us, we've been programming the things that's been done to us, you can just let that alone let you know that us men are supposed to be taking the financial burden in a household. You understand? And us, and I talk about, me being American, because a lot of my American friends, they actually were like, they like to live off their females. You understand? Do you understand? They live with their females. There's not a lot of us who's living on our own, doing what we got to do as a family man, working 2 or 3 jobs. And not saying that there isn't any, but that's not a common feature in the family in America, So I do think that, we should take the financial burden, and if we could give, because if you have kids, the wife is the best person to take care of the kids on an emotional and affectionate level. You understand? We can do what we got to do as a masculine part of the family, but it's really the woman, the female, who's going to actually nurture the kids the way they need to be nurtured. And if they're working as much as we're working, you can't have a complete household. The kids will grow up, either rebellious, not saying that, that's what's always going to happen, but, in most cases, it's not going to be, the kid is not going to grow up complete the way they need to be.
Absolutely, because again, piggybacking off what you said, you leave too much room open in that kind of household. Think about it. Even with we started off talking about the schooling system, right? They already spend so many hours at school that you have to fight to be the primary influence in their life because they spend so much time around their peers. Right. That's why the stay-at-home mom is a very important thing. The mom who's able to spend as much time as possible to feed them that love, to feed them that affection, and really nurture them. Teach them what love is, and then you come home as the man. As soon as you walk in the door after a hard day's work, you already set the example because they know you just came in
Exactly.
Doing what it takes to keep the roof over their head, to keep the food that the mom cooked.
Exactly.
Yo, yeah, that was good. I wanted to jump in real quick. Y'all brought up a lot of good points. A couple of things came to mind. Definitely, like the financial thing, to answer that question, I like to go another step. Like, first off, I believe that we should have the money working for us, not us working for the money. Because I think one of the brothers said something about the father working and then the mom's working and everybody's working just to get the money, but nobody's raising the kids. And the thing is, I know you probably seen movies or something where the dad's always working and he's never home with the kid either. It's just kind of like, I'm thinking like, and I'm seeing it now too, man. And this is probably how it was back in the day where people owned land, farm, and they had their own businesses. So it was kind of like the kids would help them with the business where the family would still be together and the husband would be leading the ship. He was working with the family, and I'm saying that that's probably happening now with all this advance in technology. You can make money online where you could work, but it's not your traditional job. So I'm just thinking like in that aspect, yeah, like the husband could definitely lead, make the bread, but it's like he doesn't have to be away from his family while he does it.
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure everybody on this line would love to have a business where it's doing well and you're the boss of it and the money's like you're sleeping and you're making money.
That's residual income.
Right,
Exactly.
Residual income. So it's like I just wanted to throw that in there where it's just like, where our kids could see like, oh, my dad was smart. He was good with money. He didn't go into debt. He was really wise with a dollar. And our kids could learn that. And that's how they build, that's how we build, wealth.
Right.
I don't know if everybody on this call is black, but, I like to say, I always make jokes, but it's just like I see it, a lot of my white friends, definitely have that concept where money isn't really a thing to them because it's like more than likely their parents were good with money, where obviously, right. We weren't poor or anything, but it was just like, my parents are trying to work up for the dollar. So it's just kind of like you just got to be, careful with all that stuff. But I think that, we could be a place where we could be financially free where the money's working for us. And we at home, with the family and the money's still coming in. We not even working on the field. You know what I mean?
And I think that, calls like this, the brother Derek Bernard creating this atmosphere will help us get to that level because I can't speak for everyone, but we aren't as privileged as a lot of our Caucasian friends. We don't have that family, things weren't left over to us. You know what I mean? We have to build to get where you're saying. So I know you said that you're going to take it a step further, but that's exactly what it is. It's actually a step further, and I think that this is one of the first steps because me even being not a single father, what am I saying? Growing up in a single, with my mother being, a single mother, so I didn't, it wasn't nothing passed down to me. I didn't even have my mother speaking to me about financial burdens or anything about the future of finances or anything like that. So for me, being involved with situations like this, there might be someone with a bright idea on the next line. Okay, this is how we, each one teach one basically. So if you bringing up this, further step, maybe you could drop some jewels on how can we, get this residual income? How can we, do things differently? You understand? But this could serve as like a stepping stone to get to that next spot. Because I could say, a lot of the people that I speak to haven't had things, they haven't had land passed down to them. They haven't had houses and financial businesses passed down to them. And we all working from scratch, you know what I'm saying, trying to get to that next level of where our other, counterparts or, Caucasian people are today. We're trying to get to that level, if that makes sense. Not trying to downgrade the black people.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I said it. I haven't arrived at all. I'm still trying to crack the code myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
I feel like the biggest thing is mindset, man. like the biggest thing is literally mindset. Because the only thing, it was an old timer white dude, you know what I'm saying? And basically what he said was the only thing that really separates them from us is the mindset on what the finer things in life are.
Right.
He said it seems like the newer generation, even from the 70s on, they wanted the Cadillacs and they wanted the Daytons and they wanted, you know, those things that flashed and looked nice when the camera light flashed, but those weren't the things that had actual value. And even now, we want the Gucci belt, we want the Prada sneakers, and the females, they want the Fendi bags and the Gucci bag, when in reality, those are things that the minute you actually pop the tag off, they depreciate in value. But the finer things to them wasn't the newest belt, the newest sneakers, it was the nice house, the comfort of that money that they stacked up, being able to send the kids to college, investing in their little ones' futures. That's really what it was, is that they might have wanted it, but what they wanted more was to be able to make sure that the children they raised was able to raise them later on once they couldn't take care of themselves.
That's real. Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for all the feedback and everything, and like this call was so positive and for the input. Let me just give a few shout outs. The brothers that's on the line now, do y'all have any businesses y'all want to shout out if person may need? I know, Jackson, you are a fitness trainer. You want to speak on that and give your information out, so if a person may need a trainer in the New York area, New Jersey area, you feel free to give out your information to pass on for those who are looking for a fitness trainer.
Anyone could just reach me on Instagram. I think that's like the best way to do promoting. But it's at Jack's Fit Nation, Jack as in JACKED, Fit FIT and Nation. And if you go there, follow me, and if you need any tips or whatever or not, you know, feel free to DM me, whatever you need to do. So it's Jack Fit Nation on Instagram.
Okay, cool. So, you got any businesses you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I really love this conversation, because really it's about entrepreneurship. So right now, I'm basically working for a company called Executive Enterprises, and right now we do consulting for some of the biggest brands in the world, including Verizon Fios. We're pretty much responsible for about 93% of Verizon sales. And in the next few months, I'm actually opening up my own location where I'll be the CEO of my own office, and I'll be doing consulting for Verizon and Inspire out of my office, man. And even now, right now, I literally do the hiring and the firing. So if anyone is needing any type of work, I'm based out of, my office is in Massapequa, Long Island, 100 Broadway. And just definitely come in. There's not one person that's on my staff that's not making at least $1,500 weekly starting entry level. So just definitely reach out, man. And as far as the brother right here with the business that he does, that gave the Instagram, I definitely want to hit you on Instagram, because I'm not sure if you actually heard about the URL, the Smack Battle Rap thing, but I've accumulated probably about 30 million views doing that. Couple of Vlad TV interviews, and I have no problem promoting anything you brothers have.
Oh, nice. Sounds great.
Definitely.
Wait a minute.
Hey.
Said you,
okay.
I used to watch a lot of URL. What do you do
for
them?
I smoked Arsenal, Math High, for all them guys. I go by Show Off.
Oh, okay.
You're a veteran rapper. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, man.
Good looks, man. Yeah.
So that's my guy. Show's multi-talented. Show rap, sing, and do all of that. Show is nice.
Hey, yeah, me and D got about, more than 20 years now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Keith, you got anything you want to share on business tip?
On the business tip, honestly, I'm still starting out. I just basically doing film stuff.
Okay.
You know, got some light. Trying to just get some more experience going on, do small projects here and there. Ultimately to make my own films, but just that if anybody needs anybody, just let me know. To shoot something small, little vignette, whatever.
No, definitely. Not only that, my Instagram is bossed_showoff, boss_UP_showoff. Bro, I'll have plenty of guys that's gonna pay you to utilize your camera work, man.
Oh, okay. Boss_UP_showoff,
bossed up show off.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay. So before I actually end this call, let me give a few shout-outs, because I also shout out three father-owned businesses I do every call. The first one I like to shout out is Dr. Jonathan Wilson Jr. He's based out of Delaware and Philly. He has a fathership program called fathershipfoundation.org. And I also want to shout out Mel Austin. He has above average training, professional sports trainer. He's based out of New York. And his Instagram is Mr. iPush14. And I also want to shout out DJ Rocka Bessa. He's based out of New York and Jersey. His Instagram is Rocka, that's ROCA_DA_DJ. Now, those are the three people I want to shout out on the Fathers in Business tip, because every week I shout out fathers that's in business.
Nice.
Okay? One last thing. Let me give out the AVOF website and social media links. The website is avillageoffathers.com. The Instagram is a.village.of.fathers. That's Instagram. The YouTube and Facebook, only thing you got punching is A Village of Fathers, and it'll come up. And the email is avofnation@gmail.com.
Nice.
So, and I'd like to thank all the brothers that tuned in today for taking time out their busy schedules to share positive and enlightened information. And we're going to be here next Thursday. I do this call every Thursday at 9 o'clock. We may change to 8 o'clock to get this thing on the road, but right now it's 9 o'clock every Thursday. Same conference call number, same dialing number. And I want to thank y'all brothers and have a God-blessed day. Stay positive, put God first,